How different do you think like the Tollywood is from Bollywood?
Very different. I'm still kind of, I mean, I haven't done a launch film yet in Bollywood, but I've done a lot of commercials there. So I think they're both very different industries in terms of their sensibilities to begin with. Of course, one learns from the other, but they're still parallel. You know, it's not exactly the same. Also, I think the work ethic, you know, is another variation. Here, things are a little more on the go. There, I do feel like even if it's for like a commercial, they slot like a good number of days before for the prep and everything. Here, somehow everything, you know, falls into place and it's very quick. Which is great, because here, you know, if I had to do a Bollywood film and do a Telugu film, I know I would wrap say 4 or 5 films in Telugu, but for a Bollywood, it's, if you're doing one project, then you need to just be solely invested in that. So it has its advantages and, you know, variations at the same time.
Initially, did you find it really hard to adapt to the language?
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, I remember my first film, I didn't sleep at night. At like 3 AM, I was up studying my dialogues for the next day, you know, because I just wanted to get it right and I wanted to go equipped and prepared. One, because I was sharing my screen space with Sharvanand, who had already done like some 28 odd films. Plus, you know, it's an opportunity. So I can, like I said, you know, that if I hadn't stayed up till, you know, a late hour at night, that's not to say the scene the next day would change. But because I did, I felt more strong about myself. I was more confident, you know. That was my own homework, my own prep to project myself from there. And then you can play with it. But if you come underprepared, then you're first working on your prep. And then from there, you to kind of build up and actually stand out differently is a longer journey. So I think, in my opinion, I think that's the most minimum and basic thing I could have done. Sujit, on the other hand, was just like, what are you doing awake at 3 o'clock? Please go to sleep. You have to look good tomorrow. So everybody, it's like different worlds, you know. I said, don't worry, I'll look good tomorrow. But for me to feel good, this is the only way. But yeah, it was very challenging. I had never spoken a word of the language, so the tongue rolls differently here. It's a lot more quicker. When I see the dialogue on paper, it looks so lengthy. But when I have somebody local say it out to me, it's just over. I said, can you go again? So that pace. But it, I think by the end of the film, I kind of had the hang of the language, and thereon it became easier. And now, of course, there's a lot of films that have happened along the way. So like I said, I understand the language a lot more. I am taking keen interest in tutoring in the language, because it's one thing when you're shooting, then you speak the language with, you know, your team and everything. But then you go back to Bombay, which is again is a disconnect. So to come back, then you need that day or two to come back again to what you already know. But it's given a lot. This industry has given a lot to me. So I think the least I can do is speak it.
Would you say you're comfortable now with the industry?
Oh yes, yeah. Honestly, right from my first film, there was never a strange discomfort that I felt. Also, I think it's to do with the team that I worked with. UV Creations, the production, they're very warm and very friendly. So more than me trying to adapt to the culture that, you know, the South industry has, right from what you eat to the way you speak to your timings, it's very different. I could feel like they would reach out to me, you know. So it was a two-way process, and Sujit was very young. He's like a couple of years older to me, so we already were of the same wavelength. Sharvanand again, you know, comes with no airs. So I was actually comforted right from the very beginning, because I never felt pressured. You know, we had Madhi so as the DOP, who was again very soft, very spoken. If I needed a little more time, he would, you know, be soft and gentle. He said, okay, fine, you take it. So yeah, it never felt alien. The industry never felt alien, which I have thought of in my own time. I said, it's not usual. I hope you know that, Seerat. It's not normal for you to feel so blended already. But then again, it felt honest, and it felt like maybe, you know, it feels right.